please welcome from the USA, Kendra Harrison. And the request from the photographers is to do something creative other than looking like a prison shot with your number. Try above your head as well, see how that works.
Just down by the side again. That's good, yeah. Straight down at me. No, up the side. That's it. Thank you.
Left a little, right a little. Only you remember Bernie the Bolt and the golden shot, Andy. I do too. Our second athlete is also a world indoor champion from Birmingham last year, and in a vintage year last year she's also the Commonwealth champion in the heptathlon and 2 times European indoor champion for Great Britain, Katarina Johnson-Thompson. And lots of creativity with the bib, please.
Just come and do the same thing. Yeah, send it a bit. No, thank you.
Well done. You two have won some kind of an award already. Let's have both of you together. We may have to reprise this with Nafi when she gets here, but 2 together. And something was symmetrical. So 1 to one side, 1 to the other. That's it.
Okay, straight down on my camera. Hold you up to the side. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, the other thing I'm going to do different is I'm going to sit down here because the feedback from the photographers is if I sit over there, the eye line is always to one side, so that it's more forward here. Let's start with Kenny. What are your recollections of that world record back in 2016? Is it a distinct one, or is it all a blur? Did you know at the time you were quick? Because we didn't in the commentary box because you dipped under the beam.
Yeah, again, that race was a blur for me. I knew I got out of the blocks well, and I just kept going and going and going. I didn't see anyone around me. I dipped as hard as I could at the line, and to see 12.5, I was like, okay, you ran 12.5, you won. But then to have a teammate tap me and say, look, you broke the world record. Again, that's just like a chills are coming over my body just thinking about that moment. It was definitely something that unbelievable.
And that year, you hadn't made the US team for the Olympics, so it was a big consolation. You've got through that this time. Do you feel like you're handling those sort of situations better?
Yeah, of course. I think when I turned pro, 2015, 2016, I was just young. Again, I learned from my mistakes, and I know I can go to a championship and get the job done, and I'm just maturing over the years. So I think I'm developing well.
And tomorrow we've got heats and finals in the women's sprint hurdles. We've got 7 Americans, 4 Jamaicans, 3 Brits. Do you prefer that? Do you prefer 2 run-outs in the same meet?
Oh, yeah, of course. I think the first round is kind of like you get your jitters out. You can kind of feel your body and kind of fix things that, may not be where you want it to be. You can go back in the finals and just put the race together. So I think I always run well with 2 rounds.
When we've spoken to you before, you had a really strong collegiate career at 400-meter hurdles, and it was something you always meant to go back to. Where are you on that?
Oh, yeah. Me and my coach were definitely just talking about this the other day. Winning my first outdoor title in Doha, getting that chance, maybe I'll have a chance in 2021 to go for the 400 hurdles. Again, we're just thinking about it, but I'll let you guys know when it comes close to that time.
And you're back in the city where you won your first global title. You both did a year ago. What are your memories of Birmingham 2018, apart from the snow?
I had a great time just to go and get my first world title. I think that was like a confidence booster for myself that I can go to a championship and get the job done. Every round I just tried to go as hard as I possibly could, and each round I got better and better and better. So.
And we're asking everybody, because we're in the middle of public exam results in the UK, what were they like as students themselves? What were their school reports and their parents' evening reports like? What was yours like? Were you good, bad, or somewhere in between?
I would say I was really good. I was shy. I didn't speak up a lot. I was a hard worker in the classroom. I struggled a lot with school, but I always worked hard, so that always played a part.
What would you predict as the time needed to win tomorrow?
Fast.
We look forward to it. Let's turn to KJT. Welcome back. What were you like at school? What were your school reports like?
I'm not too sure. I'll have to double check with my mum, but I think I was good. I was never naughty, but I was just a bit silly in the classroom. I think one of those reports where it was like, if she put more effort into her work than you did trying to make everyone else laugh, it should be great. But other than that, no.
If we look at your record this year, you've had 18 individual event wins, a lot of those within multi-events, but it does look like you've reached a new level of consistency and a new level of attainment. Is that how it feels for 2019?
Yeah, for sure. I moved training base back in 2016, 17, and since then I've always said that it's going to take a long time to, learn new techniques, learn my coach's vision, and put them all together, especially in competition. And I think that I'm finally coming into that sort of, flow now.
And what's the best and worst thing about living in France? Does Liverpool Football Club come into it somewhere?
No, I live above an Irish pub, so I can always go and watch the match there. But the best thing is just being away and how calming Montpellier is. South of France is just I've got a little bike, I just travel to and from training, can read in the afternoons. It's just a really nice way of life, and the hardest thing is learning the language for, a Scouse person from Liverpool to try and speak French. It's very difficult for me.
What would you give yourself out of 10 if it was a school report French at the moment?
I learned Spanish in school, so that's even more difficult, but it was definitely not my strong, it was not my forte.
Now, you do regularly compete in the individual jumps at Grand Prix and Diamond Leagues and similar. How does it work for a heptathlete? Because if we look at yours and Nafi's CVs, you quite often set outright personal bests within competitions. What's the feeling when you have a Diamond League? Are you more anxious? Is it more carefree? How do you go into it?
Definitely more carefree. I've competed against the specialists in hurdles, and I was definitely anxious then because you can see the amount that they can beat me by. But for long jump and high jump, they're my strong events, and I'm always excited to go against the specialists. I don't think I'm more nervous because ultimately I compete for points. So unless it's major championships, then I'm not too fussed. I want to be better in the individual events. So when it gets to major championships, it comes easier. But ultimately, I want to do my best within a heptathlon. That's all I care about.
And whenever we ask you, you say, I'll never specialise in just one event like Morgan has because I love combined events too much. If you were just doing long jump, what do you think your ultimate potential is at long jump?
I'm not too sure. I think heptathlon training helps me become good at those individual events. I don't know if I had a full focus on a certain. I think high jump might be better for me than the long jump. I always feel like I'm more naturally a high jumper than a long jumper. But maybe 1 year, if I win everything I want to win in the sport, I can go for that 1 year in the long jump or high jump or both. But until then, I've still got business to attend to in the heptathlon, so we never know.
I think you and Nafi are separated by just 1 centimetre on current season's best, so or in fact on lifetime best as well. Do you pay attention to another multi-eventer within the context of this, or is it just a sideshow?
No, it's nice being alongside Thiam because obviously she's a really strong competitor and she is one of the main competitors in the heptathlon. But we're both heptathletes, so I'm sure I can't speak for her because she's not beside me, but ultimately the heptathlon is what we want to do best in, so it's nice to see where we're both at. It's nice to potentially size each other up, but I'm not looking too much into it either way, if win or lose. It's about Doha, it's about 6 weeks' time.
So just final question to you, and then we'll introduce our final panellist. What happens to you between now and Doha? Are you done for competition? Do you taper, or do you have to keep all 7 events going till quite a late stage?
Yeah, it's like spinning plates. I have to keep them all going, and some events right now can be potentially stronger than others, but I've got 2 more competitions after this, including the trials next weekend, where I think I'll be competing in 3 events over 2 days. So yeah, we'll see, but yeah, Doha is my main.
And then that's it. After the championships, your final countdown. Where will you base yourself?
In France, right up until I need to go to Doha.
Thank you. Well, let's welcome our final panellist, put her right on the spot because she's literally just come in from the airport. She's the Olympic, World and European champion in the heptathlon for Belgium, Iaaf Diamond. I think we'll begin by getting a photo of you with the bib, if that's okay, Nafi. So if you could stand against the backdrop with your bib. And we're looking for creativity. Your two colleagues were very, very good. With no, not like a prison mugshot. It has to be out to one side. That's it.
Just move along a little bit. No, yourself, move along. That's great. Straight down at my camera.
And let's very quickly get all three of you, if that's okay. I'm not sure, what's the symmetry on this? Kenny in the middle? Would that be it?
Shortest one.
I didn't say it, you said it.
Could you just hold it up a bit to the side? Sorry, that's fine. Okay, straight down at my camera, please.
Thank you very much. So Nafi, if you could grab that microphone, it's just you that we need to speak to. 25 years old on Monday. Are you having a party that we can all gate crash?
No, I don't. I'm going to be here actually because my plane is leaving at 6, so I'm going to spend my birthday in my hotel room, I guess.
I always think 25 is a bad one, isn't it? It does make you feel like you're losing your youth a little bit. Is that how you feel? I don't know. Well, it's not as bad as 75, obviously, but 25 hurts a bit, does it?
Actually, it's like that since I turned 22. I was like, oh my God, it's too much now, but it's okay. Like, I still feel young.
And what are your thoughts going into this competition? What are you looking for from the long jump?
It's just for me a preparation competition. It's still 1.5 months until Doha, so I only did 2 long jump competition, and I feel like I need a bit more repetition. So yeah, I come and see, and hopefully I get something to work on when I'm back in Belgium on Monday.
And in Rio, you were the closing ceremony flag carrier for Belgium. Is there a lot of expectation around your countdown to this championship? Are you feeling that back home?
I think there is always a lot of expectation every year. I have a lot of pressure also from myself, but I just think I keep working hard every year, and what will happen will happen. I just don't want to have any regrets, so that's the same way I think every year.
And on the work ethic front, you're also studying for a geography degree still, are you, at the University of Liège, or is that parked? So how does that fit in with your training? Do you manage to part-time that somehow? Yeah,
actually, in my university, they have a program for student athletes, so I split every year in 2. So that's now my 6th year at university, the last one. I passed all my exam in June, and I only have my bachelor thesis to give back in September and to defend, and then I'll be done.
Is it important to you to keep that side of things going, the academic side?
Yeah, that's always a goal I had for myself, and that's why I really wanted to carry on. I've been raised with the idea that getting a degree to be independent, and also because my athletic career is not going to last forever, it's important. So it was also on the mental side, it was good to have something beside athletics, to be with people that really don't care about athletics, don't talk about it, and just to be a normal student for a great part of the day. So it was hard to combine both. It took me a lot of time and energy, and I'm really happy to be at the end of it. But I'm proud I did it because that's something I really wanted to do for myself, and I didn't want to just let that go.
What do you think it's going to take tomorrow to win the long jump? You're in against specialist long jumpers, obviously. What do you think?
To win it? I guess it's going to take to jump 7 meters, but I'm really not thinking about any ranking or win in this competition. I'm just coming for myself to see where I stand, and as I said, to see what I can still work on. So,
do you have you've had an unbeaten career in the majors over the last few years. Whenever you've lined up, you've tended to win. Do you have a regime over the last 4 weeks that you'll now follow, or is it different every time?
A regime of?
Training. Where you go, what you do, whether you taper, that kind of thing.
Like every year we've been doing more and more, and also because I had more and more time with university. Those last 4 weeks we've been back to basic training, like not really doing technical things. Also because I had a little physical problems, but so I didn't really jump a lot. But yeah, nothing special, I would say. Just we didn't really focus on one thing. I think that's also heptathlon. You have to be able to work on everything, and that's just what we carry on doing.
Just to stoke up the rivalry a little bit more between you two, you're separated by 1 centimetre. Do you notice the other multi-eventers when you're competing in a context like this? Do you want to be the first heptathlete?
I mean, it's great that Katarina is there because we know each other and I'm obviously used to compete with her. But as I said, it's a long-term competition. We are not in a heptathlon, so I don't think winning is really the point here. As I said, I just want to see where I am. And of course, in Doha, it's going to be something else because we both want to win, I guess. But yeah, here, I'm not putting pressure on myself to win or about the ranking.
And the final question, which everybody else had advance warning of and you haven't, is we're in the middle of public exam results in the UK at the moment. So we've asked all of our guests, what were their school reports like? What did the teachers say about you when you were in high school, good or bad? We have had a couple of naughty and talkative panel members. What were yours like?
So I'm not you speaking very fast.
School reports. What were your school reports like? Good, bad?
When I was in high school, I think I was fine. I was good. Yeah, I always liked school and liked studying. And I think now that I'm in university, I'm studying something that I'm really interested in. It's easier. But I think I was a good student. Yeah.
Good. All right. Questions from you. If you put your hand up, we'll bring a microphone to you. One at the back here. Is it Ben?
Question for Nafi. How do you reflect on your performance in talents, and how is your injury?
Thinking about talents, I'm happy. I think I did very good in most of the event. Of course, that problem in the javelin killed the atmosphere, but it's going good now. So I'm pretty optimistic about Doha. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Yes, over there.
Kat, you've got really strong 200 and 800 metre PBs. Is there any chance in the future you'd ever consider running a 400 metres or a 4x4 relay?
Yeah, I wouldn't rule it out for sure. I think 400 is, every time I do my 800 trainer, and the 400 is a natural rhythm for me, and my stride length and my pace. So I wouldn't rule it out for sure. I like 400 metres. It's a good distance.
Have you got PBs at every event? Have you got a 400 metre hurdles PB?
In 2014, I pretty much did every single event available, and that's how I got a stress fracture in my foot. So never again. I did triple jump, discus, 4 hurdles, 400, everything you can think of.
So for both of you, the multi-eventers, if in the interest of equality it ever moved from heptathlon to decathlon, would that hold any fears for you? Pole vault?
Doing the math, maybe one extra throw, but then more running, I think it would be better for me.
Nafi?
I think everybody knows this. I'm not so good in the long distance, so I guess, yeah, the 1500 meters is going to be really a struggle for me. Maybe not so much because the pace is a bit slower, and I guess probably at the pole vault and the 400 meters. But I think I'll be out if it moves to decathlon, to be honest.
Anybody else? Yes, John.
Question for Kenny. You spoke about your world record race. Was that a perfect race? Is there anything you can improve on? And the standard in the 100 hurdles is really high this year. Danielle Williams running fast and a couple of other Jamaicans and Americans. So do you think that could be what's needed to improve on the world record?
The world record race, I thought it was pretty flawless, but my coach had other things to say about it. He said I floated the last 3 hurdles. I didn't get out as well as I probably could have. So from my coach's standpoint, no. But I do think as the hurdles evolve, like people are running 12.3s now, 12.4s. So I think that's only going to make me run faster. You know, I like competition. I like when everyone's running fast because it's only going to bring a great race.
Yeah.
Question for Kenny as well. Before you won the world indoor title here in Birmingham, a lot of people, rightly or wrongly, had said you were a great performer but never really delivered in a big championship. Mm-hmm. How much has having won that global title taken the pressure off for you looking ahead to Doha?
I think the pressure is still there just because I want to get my first outdoor title. But, you know, winning indoors was definitely like, hey, guys, like, I can do it. And a lot of times I try not to listen to what, you know, commentators or anyone else really has to say, because every athlete's different. The development and how we do at those meets is different for everybody. So I think over the years, I mean, my performance has shown that I can do it, and I'm only getting stronger mentally.
Yes, Ben.
Another one for Nafi, sorry. Did you watch Gotsis, and what did you make of Kat's performance there?
Yeah, I tried to watch a little bit. Actually, I had an exam on the next Monday, so I couldn't really spend a lot of time in front of my laptop, but my boyfriend was performing there too, so I tried to follow. And of course, I saw what Kat did after. You know, I think I was not really surprised because already in Berlin, she did really great, and I think that was just the logic follow. I don't know how to say that. And I think it's going to be very interesting in Doha. Yeah.
Is it, for the multi-eventers, for the female multi-eventers at the highest level, you all do the lap of honour at the end together, you help each other out with the wind gauge readings and things like that. Is it all friendly, or are you actually, during those 2 days, thinking, you are going down? And you're looking at it thinking, you're going down in Doha. Is it, how do you think, how do you really feel?
No, I think it's really friendly, and you know, it's 2 days of competition. So if you really like that all the time, so aggressively thinking and I don't know, hating in your head, that must be really 2 long days. In the end, it's still sports. You know, of course, we are concurrent. We won the same medal, but yeah, it's only just sport. We can do it being friendly.
And it's so a bit like the marathon, it's you against the event as much as you against the others. Do you feel like that, Kat, or are you thinking you're going down in Doha?
No, I agree. And I think with heptathlon and decathlon in particular, we have so much respect for each other, and it was the same athletes. I've grown up with these girls, and you get to know them. And yeah, I don't think that that's the best way to spend your energy, doing a heptathlon, but I try to just focus on myself until I have thrown the last javelin. And then it's sort of competitive for me, and that's when I can get into it and have the race.
Yeah.
A question for Kat. Previous to 2018, you were sometimes struggling in main championships, but it changed a lot in Berlin. How did it boost your confidence, the European Championship last year?
Yeah, Berlin, definitely. Before Berlin, I won the Birmingham indoors, obviously, but like Kenny said, it's about the indoors, and I really wanted to prove myself on an outdoor stage. And Berlin, even though I didn't win, it gave me so much confidence to know that I could be competitive. And yeah, just like having that, after Birmingham and then leading into the Commonwealth Games, I took an injury, but having that sort of lead into Berlin where it was just all about getting my body right, and then coming away from Berlin last year and having a great winter and able to put a good performance in Glasgow, I'm just happy that I'm able to get consistent blocks of training in now. And I think that makes all the difference when you go to the start line and you know you don't have to worry about any bits of your body, and that's been a big, massive thing for me because I've struggled with injuries for every single year up until last year, leading into Berlin. So yeah.
Any more? I have one last. Oh, we'll go to John. As the microphone goes across, you've seen our impressive Muller yogurt display, and you feature in the Muller commercial for yogurts and athletics. How long did that take to film? Where was it done, and how did it fit in? Were you at an actual track?
The most recent one. It was done in January, and yeah, I was at an actual track in South Africa, and it was a very, very fun day, trying to smear yogurt in someone's nose. It was decent.
John?
Occasionally, I think it's happened at 1 or 2 Diamond League meets, and sometimes indoors they'll hold like a mini combined events competition within a day, like say 3 events. I think Paris did it for Kevin Mayer. So first, would both Kat and Nafi, would you like to see more of those? And if so, if you could pick like 1 run, 1 jump and 1 throw to do within a day, which ones would you choose?
Yeah, I would love to see it happen. I think my coach tried to make it happen in the Paris Diamond League for the females as well, but it just didn't come off. But yeah, I would absolutely love to be part of a regular Diamond League circuit where, for example, say what I'm doing next week at the trials, 3 events, and yeah, I think it would be really cool, and I wouldn't mind one jump, one run. I don't know, maybe I'll be up for that.
Which disciplines? Which run? Which jump?
It doesn't matter. It's whatever event we're working on, really. I don't really have a preferred one, but my ultimate probably be long jump, 200, and javelin.
1500.
Yeah, I was about to say no, but yeah, I think it would be a good thing too. In the last year, I had a lot of invitation to do the high jump in the Diamond League, but as heptathlete, we have to do competition in every event. Yeah, as she said, it almost happened in Paris. For me, it was not really fitting on that weekend. So, but to do that more often, that would be great indeed.
Any more? Thank you very much for your attendance here today. Thank you to all 3 of you. Good.